Hello everyone, this is your Captain Rob speaking. We're cruising at 36,000 feet in clear skies over the NeoBurgh region. On behalf of the crew and myself, I want to thank you for flying AirNeoBurgh today. You'll see out of your windows that we are currently over the city of Winsford, and we're en route for landing on schedule. Thank you for your time today. I will now pass you over to my colleagues for the remainder of the journey.
Thanks, Captain Rob, for passing it off to me. So today we're going to be creating our first airports. So I'm thinking that we're going to build it over here somewhere. I think it's kind of like the perfect corner to put it because it will be perfectly away from the cities for emissions, so we don't have to worry about emissions affecting. I mean, the nearest city is Helsham, and to be honest with you, it's quite good as it is. But it won't affect all the other cities, and emissions are pretty big when it comes to the airports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try just flattening this out a little bit over here. So if we take, let's just check the heights here. So how high is the train station here is 22 meters high. And if we were to take sort of like here, this is 21. That's quite a good level. So let's just try and flatten out an area over here. I think that might be roughly enough space. Let's just size it up here. So I think we'd probably want to be like maybe there. We really need to keep going with it, don't we? So, is that enough space? It's close. What I don't want to do, because truth be told, I found out the hard way. Why can we not place this? Oh no, have they stopped people from building off the map? Oh no! Oh no! You used to be able to do this. They've stopped it. Ah. That you can't place things off the map. Which, in my defense, you used to be able to do. I think we're going to want a decent amount of terminals. Eventually, at least. If we just build them now. I don't want the hangar there, so I'll just remove the hangar. Let's see. I am going to have to remove more of the hill. Right, okay, enough of the silliness. So we're going to put in our train station, our airport here, and hopefully this one, yes, excellent, we can fit in. So I'm going to put the hangar there, out the way, nice and simple. So we're going to need a road out the front. That's pretty basic stuff. And I think if we try and connect that up on the other side of this, I just feel like, you know, if we have an airport, it's a bit weird for it to be out in the middle of nowhere, to be fair, but I just feel like we need to do it to keep the emissions down. We don't want to be causing problems with any neighboring cities and what have you. But yeah, if we were to build an airport in real life, I mean, first off, you wouldn't just build it this big, but hey ho, it would grow, right? It would grow with time, surely. Unless, of course, there's demand for it. If there's demand for it, then who's to say? Anyway, I digress. What I really want to do is make sure that this is the right height for this. I think we will keep this flat, and then we'll do... What I'll do is I'll do like a road off, keep this flat again, almost perfectly sort of perpendicular. Is that the word that I'm looking for? It might not be. And then what we can do is, can't do it just there. If we just create a road that we're literally just going to delete in a second. So we want to take this chunk out there and that bit out there, and then we can create like a curved bit in. It should look a little bit more like it belongs. So let's move this out a little bit because I feel like it will help when we try and place in the train station. So I'm going to place the train station here. Truth be told, I don't know whether that's the right size building that we want. And to be honest with you, maybe we want more like platforms. Right now we're putting in the line into Helsham North down here, so it's going to be an extension of this line, and that one will allow people to get to the airport from, you know, Southwold and Maplethorpe and Tolaw and eventually Kesgrave and Winsford and what have you. But maybe we want to allow people from, say, Tring or St Justin Penwith to get up this way via, you know, a very high-speed train that goes through. I genuinely don't know what to do there, but I think it would probably be more likely that we put like an airport somewhere nearby that we can then have these other cities connect into, because that's kind of where I'm seeing this going. Is currently we've got quite an ample train line which number of train lines which is connecting up the cities, and then what I want to do going forward is possibly even expand that out even further, but provide almost shortcuts with the airports. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete out these roads just to begin with, and then I may even take out that one. But yeah, I think long term I kind of want to go the way of using the airports almost like a shortcut for you know, individuals who want to go to other cities, and we will find out where this city's airport's going to go in not too much time. I just need to build this one first, but I think it's probably going to be quite obvious once it's actually in. Right, so we're going to go with this one. It's at 21 meters. Whereabouts is 21 meters here? Oh wow, it's not till way back there, and that's way too high for us. Okay, what happens if we just take this and plug it in over here? So it does go through here. And to be fair, that's like the most even height that it can do. So it's interesting to know that it goes straight in there. What happens if we raise it? Let's first off try and find out. So it would need to be about there that it would have to be raised to. I don't think it looks too ridiculous. I mean, this is a bit high, but considering there's quite a height difference in the area, It's kind of understandable. I mean, we're dealing with infrastructure that would, you know, potentially put in a viaduct. You'll be happy to hear that I'm using the word viaduct, not aqueduct. I was mistaken. So to go underneath, I mean, it just doesn't really look right for me. I don't think it's what we're going to do. So I think we're going to almost freehand it a little bit. So we're going to come out this direction. I want it to stay flat because it's roughly... In fact, let's take it back a little bit there. It is roughly the same height as over here, so we don't want it to be doing anything else really. So then if we try plugging that in, surely all of a sudden it's better. It's definitely better. Let's try that. So I'm gonna put this in as dirt just so that we can put the crossing here, because otherwise, I mean, you can do it with bridges, but I don't feel like it looks too good. I don't like the way it looks. So pro tip from me, your mileage may vary. I prefer it to be the dirt hill rather than the bridge when you're doing this. So when you're doing a crossing here, so that when they've gone into a terminal or a terminus station, they can come back out. So that's all in. Let's just put in the stops. So this one's number 12 on this line. So we're just going to, first off, let's just turn off that so it doesn't cause any issues. And then we're going to place another stop down here, and then we'll jump back here and put another stop here. So at Hailsham East, we want them to be able to go to, in fact, I want them to default to going to number 1, and then they can go to number 2 if they need to. Doubt it'll ever happen, but if they need to, they can. So we've put this in. First things first, I would like to smooth a little bit, just because I love this tool. It's such a good tool. So this is our first airport. We've put in our second runway, and I tell you what, we need to put in... Do we want it that way or that way? So I think this one would be the one that people land with, and then they use the other one for taking off. Or it's the other way around. It's one or the other. So I think if we place it down here, things would be taking off towards the cities, but to be fair, they're so far away it shouldn't affect them with... You know what, we'll just do that, because it will probably be very beneficial for flight time if the planes can take off in, let's face it, the general direction of every city that it could possibly want to go to. Because, I mean, if you put an airplane and it's pointing in this direction, you're gonna have to turn around, and you know, I mean, it would be good for emissions, because the emissions would just be going off the map. You wouldn't even notice them. But you know, for me, I'd rather improve the flight time in this particular example. So we now have our line coming up to Hailsham East here. We've got the Hailsham Airport, and we have connected in vicariously via the train station Southwold and Maplethorpe and Tolaw and Kesgrave and all the other cities that are on this line. Although, admittedly, I think it's probably going to benefit these closer cities more than anything. Going forward, we may well explore some other lines that we could put in to try and better the connection to the airport directly. But for now, this will be the line that we're using. I think it should be really, really beneficial for the people in the area. And what we're going to do is we're going to place the other city's airport now, because Lowton's should, in fairness, be a lot easier to place. I'm going to be placing it down here in the other corner of the map. Truth be told, I haven't actually looked at the... Okay, so it's fairly flat round here. It's not bad. In fact, I might be able to get away with just having a bit of a smooth rather than completely deleting all of the hill. So I think what we're going to do is probably place an airport down here. Oh wow, it's actually larger than I anticipated. So oh dear. Anyway, I don't know whether we want it that way or whether we want it... I mean, we could put it here. And that's kind of what I was thinking. But then we won't be able to build in the extensions, which we kind of need. I don't need the help. My bad. Maybe I do need help. Christ. Who knows? Right, what I'll do is I'll just put a flat road here. And the only issue here is it's going to hem in this train station quite badly if we do that. So what I may do is do it more out on an angle, so then hopefully we should have space if we wanted to put another line in. Truth be told, I don't know where it would go because we've got lines up to Swindon and Ilkley. We've got lines up to Ilkeston and Knaresborough. So I don't know where another line would go. But I don't want to say, you know, it's completely completed. Completely completed. I don't want to say that it's finished and then need it down the line at some point. You know, I want to at least prepare myself if it's something that we do want. So I'm not liking the look of this one. So if we do put it here, it would have quite a high difference in height from the river, but we can build the runway and we can build the other taxi lane, and I think we can probably fit in the lights, so to have them going off the map. I think I'm going to go with that. It's not great, personally speaking. I don't like the look of it just hanging in midair, but what we'll do is we will come through with the smooth tool. I'm just going to whack up the strength on this one because it's going to need it, and we're going to try and clean this up a little bit. In fact, let's put in the lights as well. In fact, do we want it there or do we want it the other way around? I don't remember which one is the landing one, but we want the landing. So basically we want the planes to take off this way. It looks like it would be landing here regardless, and then landing this way in this orientation. Okay, so now we've got our Lowton airport. It's finally time to put in our very first airline, and I've got to say I'm quite excited. I don't know about you guys. We can see here, yeah, this is the wrong way around. I want it to go the other way around just because on the other end there's plenty of space for it. Oh, thank God we were able to do that. I was kind of worried that might not work, but it is working perfectly fine. That's good. So now if we go into lines, Why has it gone over here? Is this the line? What's going on? I guess it's just not showing it. But if we go back over to the Hailsham Airport and we put in the line, it should appear exactly as we want it to. Oh, actually, do we want it to be like that, or do we want it to land on this side? I think it would be beneficial for everyone involved if it did land here, because ultimately, sorry, I got distracted by geometry, because ultimately it increases or reduces rather the amount of time that the line's in the air, and that's only ever a good thing, because it costs us less. It will mean that people have a higher frequency, hopefully, on the line. But anyway, enough of my jibber jabber. This is the very first public transport airline, and I want to call it something a little bit special. So we're going to call it AirNeoBurgh, if I can spell. AirNeoBurgh is a go. This is going to be, I'm just going to do like line 1. In fact, no. Let's do Hailsham to Loughton. HSM, I think. That's ham. HSM to Loughton. Elton. Yeah, I'll go with 4 letters. You know, I'm not too worried. And I mean, we could have, this color's not bad. It's good. You can actually see it, so you can actually pick it out in the line picker. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Now, we need passenger vehicles, and we have a decision to make. So, in one regard, we could create a line that is quite efficient and cheap, but really what I want to do is provide a line that offers a tangible benefit over going on the train lines, which have a high speed of 124, which is pretty damn decent for trains, let's face it. So if we were to use like a smaller Sherpa, for example, it's only 283 mile an hour. Like, it's not that much faster over the actual train line. So I think what I'm going to go for is look for top speed. And let's just order it this way around so that the highest one is at the top. So we've got the Boeing 737-700, which has a top speed of 605 miles an hour. That's pretty decent. But it only has a capacity of 33 people, and it has a loading speed of 3 times and an emissions of 87. The Boeing 757-200 has almost 600 mile an hour. It's 555. At least it's got alliteration on its side. It's got more thrust, so I'm guessing it gets up to that speed a little bit faster. It has a capacity of 50, so that's what, 12? No, that's not 12. That's 17 more, right? That's 17 more. Yeah, I don't know why I'm overthinking this. So yeah, it's 17 more, and it's 10 times. So it's 3 times what it, well, it's 3.33 recurring, right? Times the difference. But it is a hefty plane. It's 58 tons. So yeah, whether we go for that or something slightly different. I mean, if I'm honest, like, to begin with, I think the 737s should be fine. I don't think that we're going to have too much not necessarily demand, but initially speaking, I don't think we're going to fill the planes straight away. And I think what I'd rather do is get the faster plane to make the line more attractive. And then in time, should we need it, we can put more 737s on the line, or maybe we just go ahead and put the 757 on there. But truth be told, I mean, it's 50-mile-an-hour difference, but the loading speed is a massive difference. Like 10 times is pretty damn high. You know, some of these can't even get more than one. So 7, like 10, it's 7 more than 3. I'm gonna go with the Boeing 737-700. I want to make this a little bit special, so we're gonna call this AirNeoBurgh. So AirNeoBurgh the first. Yeah, I think that's going to be quite nice. Let's color it as well. We'll color it the color of the line, so nice pastely pink. And we'll add that to our line. So we are a go. Oh, this is super exciting. I can't believe it's all sorted now. We could put a plane down here. Where are these ones going, to be fair? So some of these are actually going to Tolor, so it might be faster for them to get up there. I mean, obviously the destinations and what have you, none of them will be going to like Helsham, Kesgrave, Maplethorpe and Sutton, West Ham's more in the middle. Southwold. There's actually a fair few going to Southwold. What about Winsford? 50 are going to Winsford. Wow. Okay, so yeah, there's capacity there for it. And let's see how it goes with our very first AirNeoBurgh the first. Here he comes, or she, or it, whatever you want to see an aeroplane as. Here it comes. Here we go. Bing bong. So I'll be very interested to see. Ooh, that's a fair emissions cone, but that's about where it cuts off. Just there. That's the average, actually. Let's see the current. Yeah, it sort of cuts off there. So that's perfectly far away from Helsham. And to be honest with you, this is such an efficient little get up because we got Loughton, in fact, what I might do is I might use these brackets, Elton, and then on this one, HSHM, just so that we know them in the list. I'm going to call the airports what they are. Ding dong. You know what, let's just see if we... I'm going to regret this, but if we put this here, so now the line just takes off this direction. Does it affect it with emissions? I'm betting it will. I really don't want it to cause emissions. Here it comes. Okay, moment of truth. How bad is it? It's pretty bad. Oh, it's pretty bad. But, to be fair, the train causes a little bit here as well. And I would argue that having a train and an aeroplane... Actually, look at that. It hasn't actually encroached on Loughton that much at all. The train line here, quite easily. So, you know, it's about making those shortcuts almost that the trains... Oh, wow. Look at that. what the train there just caused. Mind you, he's going pretty fast, isn't he? 124 mile an hour. And the plane is just gonna overtake him. Like, hey bro, you're out for a run? Oh, hang on, it's actually slowed down to 110, 109, 108, 107. If it's gonna affect the emissions, it would be around here, I would imagine. It's like the plane's just like, on your left! I reckon we're gonna see it any second now. Surely, yeah, here we go. This is the plane. I don't know. It's still at 10 currently. It's really bad around here. It's a shame that you can't... I wonder whether you can reduce emissions, like with trees. Because surely, in real life, that's kind of what you would do, isn't it? So if I built a whole load of trees... I mean, I say built. I mean, you plant trees. What am I on about? If I plant a load of trees around here, will it help with the emissions? Because surely it would do in real life, right? I mean, it's a lot of trees. In fact, they wouldn't be right now. Oh, that's loud. It's our very first passenger! Yes! In fact, it would be really interesting to see how much money we make off of this one passenger, because then we can effectively times that by however many passengers there are, right? I don't know whether it's the same, say, going from Helsham to Loughton as it is going from Loughton to Helsham, but I think it should be. I don't really know, but we currently haven't made any money on this line, so that should at least tell us how much one passenger will make us. And let's have a look at the emissions while we're here. So I don't think trees have really made a difference, but in my mind they have, because now there's a bit of a barrier. You know, it feels like there should be some sort of thing that you can do for emissions. Drum roll, please. So insignificant. 139k. Wow, this is not going to make us any money. I don't think we're going to make any money. We're going empty. Whew. I think what I'll do is I'll ask him to fill. Oh, whoops. I'll ask him to fill the planes and wait for 3 minutes, because otherwise we're gonna not make much money. So that's one person. So if we were to divide, oh geez, this is a depressing little stat. So if we take 3.28 million, how do I find the non-reduced number? Should we just take this number, because it actually tells us? Yeah, I don't know whether we should use that one, because it's saying here that the running cost of this vehicle is this. So we'll take that. So 3,047,000. Could you imagine paying this for a vehicle? Divide by 139,000. I can't get a more specific one than that, I don't think. Okay. We would need 21.9249568 passengers to take a trip. And I mean, that's actually really good, because considering this plane can carry 33 people, if after the 22nd person it broke even, I think that's really good. Because like, we've already done one trip in this year. We might have even done like 2. If we can do, like, let's say 2 trips a year, or at least financial year, which sounds a little bit silly when you think about it. Could you imagine doing that in real life? Like, oh yeah, this plane does 2 flights in a year. How's that going to be cost effective? But anyway, so yeah, if we think, okay, the plane does 2 trips in a financial year within the game world, and we need them to have at least 22 passengers to break even. It has a capacity of 66 on those 2 trips, because it can take 33 on 1 trip. So it has the capacity to not only break even at 22, to triple its cost in 1 financial year, potentially. I mean, it really depends how many trips we can get in a year. I genuinely don't know, especially if we're gonna wait until they fill up, because we've got 1 passenger here. They're gonna wait for 3 minutes on the plane. It would probably be faster for them to take the train at this rate, but hey ho. It's gonna take time for people to actually see this plane line, as, you know, a valuable way into other cities. So I'm not too worried. So that's been our first foyer into aircraft in NeoBurgh, and I've got to say I'm quite happy with the 2 airstrips that we put in, the airports. Needless to say, this is only the beginning of the aircraft being put into NeoBurgh. So truth be told, I need to find some more spots that are really worthwhile putting these airports in. I think having a few near the bigger cities will probably be quite useful, such as Dover, Bawtry, Bergamarsh, Alford and Littlehampton. But yeah, needless to say, these air flights are very much like a shortcut between the areas that we put in. So I think it's going to be quite good to have the train lines running backwards and forwards in general, but then have the air flights as a sort of quicker shortcut between 2 areas. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. I hope you are too. I'm gonna leave this one running. We've got some more footage of these air flights going backwards and forwards, so hopefully you enjoy it. But I'm gonna round this one up here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think with your thumbs. If your thumbs don't cut it, then let me know with a comment. And if you've enjoyed this content, then consider subscribing. It's the best way to catch it going forwards. Alright then, thanks, goodbye.